nice woman and all this stuff, and it's like, woman was stealing all the money out of the building, and
she stole 400,000.
400,000 or so out of the building, and the other building. And anyone object? Does anyone object to the design of this situation? And they were like, no, we love it. They not only did they say that they were fine with it, they were like, we think it's a great thing. And there is lovely articles and photos of the old manager from this building being hauled off by the FBI. Well, it's sure not very pretty. You can meet the voice in the video too. It's really gross looking. You would think that even they would care across there.
I'm sure they do.
That it's so ugly looking. Did they ever explain what this garage was for?
It has something
To do with the bank?
Yeah, with the city park. With the city hall.
The city hall, they don't care. This is how they are here. So this area is not always what it comes out to be. They only care about greed and development here. They don't care about anything else. This is Sunny Isles Beach. It's actually like the city right there. And I believe they put this up. I'm not quite sure. I'm not really 100%, but it's like kind of destroyed the prices here of a lot of the units. So that was like a really cool, funky building there where it even has 2-story units. It's like townhouses, right? Like some of those are 2-story units, and then there are pools up there. So it was this really cool thing right across the street from the beach, which is right there. And then ever since they put this monstrosity up here, everyone's kind of like, especially from this building, and I'm sure from this one too, looked up the units there, but I know that the units that are behind me in this building, they're all running and selling probably for a fraction of the cost. I'm going to show you a building that I actually used to live in a couple years ago. When was that? 2012? 2012 to 2015. It's that peach color building right there. And as I get closer to it, I'll explain why I had to move from it, which was still probably the right decision. I mean, it kind of went up a little in value, but it's just when those things happen, and it's time to get out because you don't know 100%, what the ramifications could be. So,
the thing is, people didn't want to be in that building anymore because now you're on the pool deck and you're looking.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The whole point of the pool deck was to be looking at the beautiful ocean view. I've completely destroyed a lot of the things here due to the greed. That's the ocean side there, but I'm gonna go in.
I've never seen anything.
So this building behind me has been destroyed because, look at what your view is. Those units that are right there that I'm tilting the camera to, your view is now the garage. So there you go. You've got them there, and that's their view. So yeah, and they put it up so quickly and they don't care. And that this is a rundown rental, not a rental, but people treat it as rental because it's a condo, and it's across the street from the ocean, so that's the selling point. And for people who are renting here, renting from a owner, it was probably like $900 a month, $1,200 a month at the most, and now it's going for like $2,500 or something a month.
$2,500 to $2,900.
Just people taking advantage of people everywhere, especially here in Miami. So I used to live in this peach building right here. This building got crammed in here. It's a hotel, and then that's the building I used to live in. And it's so crammed that it's like a stacked garage, so the cars are on like a forklift, and they have to go get your car for you because it has to be put onto like a layering system in order for everything to fit. So this is the building I used to live in, and there's the problem that made us all sell real quick and get out of this nightmare situation. And then I'll show you also, so I'll explain that. So in between the building I used to live in and the hotel, you have this little mini lot and shopping center which eventually will also go because, you know, they're thinking of selling that already. And then once again, they will cram something in here, and then their view will be destroyed also because of what they've done. And now I'm going to show you the real selling point as to why we had to run from this building here. Yeah, so this was not like now. This was back in 2012 when I lived in this building. And at the time, after we moved in, we were informed that
the money was missing.
That the way they kind of explained it was this, it never really quite made any sense. That like a building has their reserve account, and then they also have their account that they pay bills out of, and, you know, gardening, all that type of stuff. And what they were trying to claim, the building, was that they used the wrong account to pay the bills, that they went into the reserve account and not the account for paying the gardener, essentially. And that a certain amount of money was missing, and that they needed to fix the situation here. That was actually my unit right there. It was this oddball unit right where the tree is. And it didn't directly go out to the pool. You still had to go around the corner, but that was kind of the interesting element of it, that it went right out onto the pool deck there. And it was an oddball unit because it was I think it was the smallest unit in the building. But I don't know if it was originally meant to be like a housekeeper's unit and then something eventually they sold off. I don't know, but it was a good deal for us at the time because it was this, you know, odd unit in a fancier building. And back to the reserve thing. So I remember we went to the meeting and we were told that we were all going to get hit with an assessment where the owners have to pay back the missing account. And I went to the meeting and I basically said to them, if you use the account from A that you were supposed to use in B, why can't you just switch? Like, why can't you just take the money? They're both the building's accounts. Why can't you just correct it? And there was never an explanation to any of that. So that was the story they stuck to. They were very nasty. They were like, as soon as I walked in there, they were like, you know, like making fun of me and stuff like that. And I remember I told one of the women there, I was like, can't you like pick on someone your own age? And but it never got anywhere because you were still forced to pay the assessment. I remember I would tell people this story and they would say, wow, you're so judgmental and it sounds like you're so not nice to the woman that runs the building, and you're mean and all this stuff, and you're judging her. Well, as it would turn out, she was in charge of this building. She was also in charge of another building at maybe, I think, a different point.
She got the contract for this one.
She was in charge of this building at one point as their like manager. But then she was also in charge of, I think, of another building on Miami Beach. And that's how she got in trouble.
Well,
That's how they found out. And I think that might have come after she was already done with her gig here.
Yeah.
But she apparently had a gambling habit, and she basically took all the money out of the building. Spent all the money that was in the reserves, spent all the money that was in the accounts. And there is lovely articles and photos of the old manager from this building being hauled off by the FBI for stealing all the money out of the building. But that's how it goes in Miami.
Talk about how this suddenly got...
So during the time period that we lived here, we got notice that this monstrosity of a building was being projected to be here. Part of living in a building, and so what happened was, when a building is getting, you know, proposed, you can go to a meeting at the city and say, I object. And obviously you would have expected our building, this building, to object to this building, considering this situation. And due to shenanigans that were happening at the time of our building, and obviously you could figure it out yourself, considering that the woman who ran the building was hauled off by the FBI for embezzling and doing everything she did with the money. This is a true story. You could look it up. Like, I'm not just saying that. You could look up, I'm not going to say her name, but you can look up the building and at the time and figure out who I'm talking about. And yeah, she was arrested and everything. And they went to the meeting, and they knew it was being filmed and everything. So the person that was conducting the meeting at the city, they were like, does anyone object? Does anyone object to the design of this situation? And they were like, no, we love it. They not only did they say that they were fine with it, they were like, we think it's a great thing. We think it will help the value of our building. So, and unfortunately, they didn't object, and including the president of this building at the time, who also, I believe, sold and left. And the woman from the HOA, you know, all went to it and said, we don't object. And again, that woman, you know, went to jail at one point. I don't know how long she actually served or anything. She got arrested. Did she actually go to jail? I don't know. I think she was in jail. I mean, the system here is so messed up. They all get out. So the city went along with this. And our unit, again, faced the other way. It wasn't a through unit, but you have to understand, this building was a boutique building, and their view faced the ocean. So if you had a unit that was on this side, your view, and I'll show you what their view is now, and then also the pool, the selling, I didn't realize it was this bad. I didn't realize, you know, what's funny is I haven't actually been here in this spot. I haven't been here in this spot. It actually makes me mad because you're seeing the grade here. So the pool deck, which is up there, had a view of the ocean. I'll show you now what it has a view of. It's actually making me quite mad. So that was the pool deck, and the pool deck had a view of the ocean. The pool deck completely, maybe in the corner here, maybe if you went into the corner there, but the pool deck's view is now of the wall. And so people's units, and I'll show you, that are there are literally facing the wall of this building. And there is no like design wiggle room. Like I can show you, like they are full on to the back of this building. And that's what they did. When we found out about this, we basically ran. We sold very quickly before they even, that lot that this building's on now, it used to be a Denny's. And when we found out that this building was coming, we sold, we probably listed for sale like within a week. And it sold very, very quickly. We had a very aggressive real estate agent. You know, that's me giving credit to him, that he was unlike, you know, probably anything you have in your place there. You're watching this.
The people didn't want to live in it. They wanted
yeah,
to
I mean,
make it
the
into a hotel.
Airbnb hotel, because this building allowed that for that. It wasn't even under the table. She allowed them to do that, the hotel program, where, you know, you can.
So they didn't care.
So they didn't care, but we were told we were judgmental for judging the woman that used to run this building. And in reality, she was hauled off by the FBI. And she was kind of cuckoo. And I remember when we went to the meeting, she like developed a fixation with me because she knew that I was too smart. She knew I was too analytical. And she knew that, you know, I could potentially, you know, report her or something. So like one day she was like, you know what, you're causing trouble for me. I got friends in the news and the media. I'm gonna call them on you, and maybe they could do a report on all you and like find out about you. We thought it was just like BS, like because you would think that there would be some media integrity to Dade County. We were wrong. One day we were taking a walk. We were on this side of the street, and we see some lunatic camera guy standing there, waiting for us from one of the major TV stations here, because she told him some lie about us, and then finally he left, and then we went back upstairs and went home. But you know, it's not saying much. Our news media here has always been a comical joke that you could do an SNL skit on. But it was very frustrating because you had to move.
Built on.
Yeah.
The city, through its gloriousness, will permit the new building to completely
be right up against, and they won't say anything. You know, that's one of the frustrating elements of living here. You know, I've started to talk about this because I'm, you know, doing videos on my own building and stuff like that. But what was very frustrating about it was that I remember trying to express to people my frustration. And I would tell them, you know, something weird is going on in my building. She's very hostile, the woman that works there. She, you know, anytime you go to her and you want to ask her about the financials of the building, she gets very hostile. And as it would turn out, she, you know, she had stolen all the money out of the building, and she was arrested. This is not like just me talking out of my butt. She was arrested by the FBI.
This is going to go to.
This is a little McDonald's, cute little McDonald's that is squeezed in between here. Again, we expect that to be sold and a building to go up there as well. But, you know, it's frustrating because it went through my mind, like, with our building situation, would it make sense to sell and possibly go over here? And the answer is no, because although their maintenance is a little less, I don't think it's low enough, and they could go through the same thing, or they could get a surprise and it's getting knocked down. I mean, it's prime real estate to knock it down.
And it's not on the wall.
But it's so easy to knock it down. That's the thing. It's not a tall building, so like you say to yourself, you know. But yeah, it's frustrating because nothing is what it seems here. You know, I was thinking about that. I mean, you have hardly any professional people that work or live in Sunny Isles. There's probably like 2 doctors that live and work in the entire city, and the rest of the people that afford this are entrepreneurs. And the word is like, finally felt like redeemed. That all these people were telling me like I was a jerk for saying she was creepy, and it was like,
and you're the creepy one.
You're the creepy one. You're judging people and saying she's not a nice woman and all this stuff. And it's like, the woman was stealing all the money out of the building, and
she stole $400,000
or so out of the building and the other building. And the way she got caught in the other building, who turned her in and said the financials of the building, I think they were on the board or whatever, and in that case they were a good doer and they weren't in on it. And it's frustrating because, you know, you're living in this oceanfront community here and nothing is what it seems. No one can explain what they do for a living. In her case, you would say, how is she making her living? It's like, well, she made her living by stealing all the money out of the building. It's frustrating.
The people in this Bank of America, they've been using this porta potty for a year.
Yeah, for whatever reason we can't figure out, the bank here will not fix their bathrooms, and they make all their employees go to that porta potty. Where's the porta potty? There.
It's right there.
And like when it's raining and stuff, that's what they tell their employees to do, which is obviously not normal.
They
like
don't
it's been.
Have to go to it. They can hold it.
Wear a diaper.
Okay, wear a diaper.
They've had broken bathrooms here at this bank for a long time. It's like, how bad can your plumbing situation be?
Here, show a picture from the front. I think you could have
There's a lot that goes on here. Yeah. So, I am frustrated, but now I will go shop for groceries. And thank you all for watching. And I will see you. I will learn eventually how to hold a camera straight. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video. And bye.
The city approves.
The black glass one there, that's the Porsche Tower. Very James Bond-like. Car goes up the center of the tower, puts the car into your unit, or like technically in your unit. And then that one ended up getting approved somehow out of nowhere, and both their views are kind of screwed, honestly.